Welcome to Creatively Exposed, a podcast and safe space for Black and marginalized creatives to empower, educate, and uplift you through the final product of self and creation. Bring a homie, share with a homie, and enjoy the show.
Hey y'all, welcome back to Creatively Exposed. It is late as hell, and I ain't even gonna hold you. I was not gonna record nothing, but there was this Twitter thread and then alignment because everything seems to work this way. Also, heads up, Mercury retrograde is gonna happen in Gemini. Things are about to get really weird. As a creative, especially a poet, a writer, sometimes it feels like scarcity was intentional when it comes to these works, especially as a Black woman. And I've had multiple conversations today about visions, about the desires of wanting to lead a creative life, and it just feels like certain shit is just not supportive of this, right? Like life, the crabs in the barrel thing, when there is so much abundance, it's wild. It's pulled and gate kept in certain spaces. And I'm literally in bed, y'all. I just find it fascinating to there's like so many, like I saw Russian Doll. That's a whole conversation I'm gonna have with the homie. Whole season, binged it. And I think about the loops of life and how in therapy we discussed being on a hamster wheel and feeling like life is on loop sometimes, right? This weird ass concept of time, and that adds to the loop. And this might be really random and woo-woo, and I'm gonna try to keep this as short as possible. All that to return to this tweet that I read. Where the hell is it? About confidence and imposter syndrome. And I know I bookmarked it because I was like, this is how I felt a lot of my life. Don't tell me that. Anyway, it looks like I didn't bookmark it, which means I gotta find it. So basically the synopsis is that we are inherently confident. We are born confident, right? And life is life, people, etc. Boom, boom. At Feminista Jones says there's an expectation that women and non-white people inherently lack confidence and operate from places of insecurity and doubt. And just to cut it short, like, when we don't operate that way, the world gets offended. And it's like, confidence is not built, it is stripped away. That's at Feminista Jones, and I'm finna bookmark it. And I think that's 100% true. And I feel like, what if you have the audacity to thrive? Not survive, not just live, but to thrive, and whatever thriving means to you, right? What if you got tired of receiving the bare minimum? And shout out to a homie I saw in her stories. She's recommitting to self-care for this month, and I mean, what better month than May, Taurus season? What better season, I guess, is the best words, to recommit to doing things that is nourishing to the soul, to recommit to self and not conforming at the expense of yourself. Sometimes structures need to be experienced, studied, in order to know how the fuck not to continue being under the same constrained life and see, oh, this is no longer enough. What if we had the audacity to create without questioning if it will be received well, if someone else is going to understand it, if, right? And do the shit because that's what is natural to us, regardless of who, what, is there to project their bullshit onto it. And there is more than enough in the world to have a sustained form of living. I think it's are we willing to fight for a different way of being? Mindlessly being, at least for me, mindlessly existing without intentionally working on thriving, for me, is no longer sufficient. So, if you ever would like to respond to this or hit me up on the socials, I would love to have a dialogue or conversation, or maybe this is just a journaling thing, a prompt to discuss with self, somebody, therapist, or pages. Y'all have an amazing week. Do not forget that you are magic. Pas oublier où c'est magique. Do not forget that you're magic. No te olvides que eres magia. Have a wonderful week.
Thank you for listening to the show. Check out our Patreon, the website in the show notes. Rate, review, and subscribe or share with the homie. And don't forget that you are magic. No te olvides que eres magia. Pas oublier où c'est magique. Take care and see you next week.